Hey guys, it's Amanda here back with another video for you today. Today I'm going to do an updated video on my most complimented fragrances. I did one about a year ago and some of them I have some repeats, some new ones, but I just wanted to go through and tell you guys which fragrances I get the most compliments on. And then I have a couple here that I get compliments on, but I also tend to give compliments on when I smell the fragrance on other people. So I have a couple of those included as well. The compliment thing is a little messed up right now because of quarantine. We're just not going as many places, aren't as many people smelling our fragrance, but I still have a generalized idea of what my most complimented fragrance are. These are ones that I have in my collection that I own, and I'm gonna go ahead and get started because I have several of them. So I'm gonna start with one of my favorite fragrances, and you can tell because I have used a lot of it. This is the house. The house is called Ubigant. It's a very, very old perfume house. I've mentioned this fragrance house in a lot of my videos. It's one of my favorite perfume houses ever. This is a flanker to the original Fleurs that was formulated a very, very long time ago. Princess Diana wore the original one on her wedding day. I've worn that fragrance for years. It's just the Fleurs original. This is a flanker called Jardin Secret. It smells similar to the original. They have modernized this though, which is what's so great. The other one can smell a bit dated. This one is a modern version of that. So for those fans of that fragrance, this is awesome because it's got, they've added sandalwood and iris to the base here, which makes it this very kind of powdery, irisy. It smells very similar to Prada Infusions de Riz, but it's much better. The longevity is much better, and it's a little bit deeper and more complicated of a fragrance than the Prada one. I love the Prada one, I own it. This one is better. So if you're a fan of that one and you want another fragrance that's kind of like that in your collection, this is your fragrance. It is absolutely wonderful. It's a huge compliment getter. I have always gotten compliments on this for years. Been wearing this now for a couple years, and I do not wear this that I do not get a compliment every single time I wear it. So that is that one. Another one that I get a lot of compliments on is this one. It's Trish McEvoy Sexy 9. It is blackberry and vanilla musk. Oh my goodness, you guys. This is just a beautiful fragrance. It smells like blackberry and vanilla, and it's got a little bit of patchouli in it. I think someone commented on one of my fragrances that said that's what makes it sexy. This is a very sexy fragrance, but also being a little bit fruity and zesty and a little bit vanilla-y. But it's sexy. This is really kind of like the perfect fragrance for a lot of women. Oh, and by the way, this is my dog Maggie over here. She's asleep. This is going to interest a lot of women. It's it's a mass appealing fragrance. I get a lot of compliments on this. A lot. And I think it's because it just smells good. It has a lot of different facets to it. Like I said, it's fresh, vanilla, sexy all at the same time. So that's Trish McEvoy Sexy 9, blackberry and vanilla musk. I need to get these organized. So I included an Alien in here. This is Alien O Sublime. I love this Alien. I think I like this one better than the original. I have the original. I actually have 3 bottles of it. I have a travel size, I have a small, and then I bought a backup large one. This is Alien Eau Sublime. It's a little bit lighter than the original Alien, but it smells almost exactly the same. I think it's got a little bit more citrus in it. It's a little maybe lighter on the jasmine. It's just a less deep version of the regular Alien. I tend to get a lot of compliments on this one. You will get a lot of compliments on any Alien that you wear. It's just, I think part of it is it stays on your skin for a very long time and it's pretty strong. So fragrances that last a long time and are strong, obviously you're gonna get more compliments, but this also smells amazing. It's very sexy. Alien in general is very sexy fragrance. The Eau Sublime is no different. It is a beautiful, beautiful version of Alien. I I don't know that they sell, I don't know if they sell Sublime in counters anymore. I got this off Fragrance Net. It's widely available for anyone who wants it. The bottle is beautiful. I love the white at the bottom. Again, any Alien, there's so many flankers of Alien. They come out with one like every year. And they're widely available, but all of them smell amazing. You're gonna get compliment on any Alien that you wear. So that was Alien. Okay, so this is one of my most complimented fragrances. Juliette Has A Gun, not a perfume, which is interesting because of the name. This is an Amourette-based fragrance. They use a synthetic Amourette in here, but there's something about the smell. It's impossible to describe. It's not floral. It's not sweet. It's a molecule fragrance. But this is probably one of my most complimented fragrances of all time. I think it's because it's a little different. People don't recognize the smell, but it smells amazing. It is one of the best smelling fragrances I have ever smelled in my life. I highly suggest everyone has not a perfume in their collection. You can mix this. I always wear this on its own. It's just the way I wear it. It lasts a very, very long time on me. And it wears really nicely on me. It just smells like this, I don't even know, this beautiful kind of vague fragrance that just smells good. It pulls you in. It almost acts a little bit like a pheromone, in my opinion. It draws people in, and that is literally the experience I've had with this fragrance. People will give me a hug or see me, and then they kind of come back like, oh my goodness, what is that? Oh my goodness, you smell so good. It's like a little bit of maybe a delay, but it's a very intense kind of compliment that they will give you. I've had many people want me to text me the fragrance that you're wearing right now, and I'm gonna go out and get it tomorrow. So this is a huge compliment getter for me and for everybody. I haven't heard one person say they don't get compliments with this fragrance. So that is not a perfume. Juliette Has A Gun. They have a lot of other fragrances. I don't really like any other ones except Not a Perfume is by far their best seller. I don't like any of the other ones. I just don't. I don't know why. Okay, so obviously I have two that I get compliments on, but that I also am constantly complimenting people on. The first one is Chanel Chaud, so Tendre, obviously. This is by far, when I give somebody a compliment, they're usually wearing one of two fragrances. And the other one is here. Tundra smells very fruity, fresh, but it's also sexy. There's something about it, especially as it dries down. When you first spray it, it's very, girly and fresh and florally, but something about when it dries down, it turns very sexy and kind of, in my opinion, kind of mysterious. I mean, a lot of people think of this as a generic fragrance. Oh, it just smells like fragrance or whatever, but to me, it's not. To me, there's something a little bit deeper and mysterious about this fragrance, especially when someone has been wearing it for a while. Again, I get a lot of compliments on this fragrance, a lot, but I cannot tell you, it's in the double digits of times that I've complimented people and they've been wearing this. And I won't know they're wearing this. I know what this smells like, but I will think that I don't know what the fragrance is. And when they say Eau Tendre, I'm always shocked. I'm always like, that doesn't smell like Eau Tendre, but it smells so good. So this is compliment getter on both ends for me. I give compliments and I get compliments. The second one that I give a lot of compliments and I get a lot of compliments is Flowerbomb by Viktor and Rolf. Flowerbomb is a classic fragrance. It is it's named Flowerbomb, but it does not smell like flowers to me. I don't smell one flower in here. I smell sweet patchouli, like a sugary, vanilla-y patchouli. It's the most beautiful patchouli I've ever smelled in a fragrance. Again, when I compliment somebody, a lot of times they're wearing Flowerbomb. Flowerbomb is a little bit more recognizable to me than the Eau Tendre. I accidentally mix this up a lot with La Vie Belle. I will think somebody's wearing Flowerbomb, but they're wearing La Vie Belle. That's another one that's a huge compliment getter. I don't personally like that fragrance on me, but again, 9 times out of 10 when I compliment somebody, they're wearing, I think it's La Vie Belle by Lancôme. It smells very similar to Flowerbomb. It's a little stronger than Flowerbomb. It's a little bit more, I think it's a little heavier on the patchouli. It to me, when I wear it, it ends up smelling like root beer or something. But when I smell it on somebody else, that is must be, it will fill the room. I work with a woman that wears that, and it just, oh, it smells so good. But Flowerbomb, I also get a lot of compliments when I wear Flowerbomb. It's because it just smells good. It's just this heavenly smell that I can't imagine anybody not liking. Men tend to like this fragrance a lot, as well as the Alien. I get a lot of compliments from men on those two fragrances. But yeah, Flowerbomb, everyone should have Flowerbomb. I mean, it should just be a staple in everybody's perfume wardrobe because it's a classic. Nobody's been able to really copy it. Nobody's been able to touch this thing with a 10-foot pole. It's just a classic fragrance that everyone should have. I'm getting down to my more complimented fragrances, and I'll go leave the top two for the end. Okay, so this is a random one. This is Lalique Amethyst Exquise. I've been corrected on how I pronounce this. I apologize if I'm pronouncing it the wrong way. This is a flanker of the original Lalique Amethyst, which is one of my favorite fragrances of all time. It always will be. This is supposed to be the nighttime version of the original Amethyst, but it's also, I think it was formulated for like to be an amethyst for the Middle East. So it's got this like dark, it's not oud, but it's like this kind of almost twinge of a masculine vibe, but mixed with these dark berries. Guys, this is what a lot of women are looking for. When I think of like the Carolina Herrera Good Girl, that's got that kind of almost like deep darkness with almost like a masculine vibe, but not enough to be masculine. It's like this, women love that fragrance. This is kind of like that, but a lot better. Lalique fragrances are made very well. They're not designer fragrances. They're a little cut above, almost into the, this is definitely a niche fragrance. This is the most beautiful fragrance. I mean, I get a lot of compliments on this. I think because it's just this very enveloping, sexy, liquor kind of berry, like berries have been left and they've gotten really dark and thick, and then you've added this like amazing kind of like musky masculine vibe to it with a little bit of like a dark flower in there. Oh my gosh, this smells amazing. I think every woman should own this. I don't know one woman that would not like this. It just smells beautiful. So that's Amethyst Exquise. I don't know. Somebody can comment and tell me how you pronounce that. Okay, so I'm down to the top three. Number 3 is this one, Clean Reserve Radiant Nectar. Again, everyone should own this fragrance. There's nothing not to like about it. It's an it's Amourette with pear. Amourette is this same thing that's in this. Now, these two Amourettes to me smell completely different because this is a synthetic Amourette called Silox, and this is real Amourette seeds, I think, from I can't remember, but these are real Amourette seeds. So the real Amourette seeds smell a little bit more liquidy, a little bit more like this very papery, liquidy kind of, oh, I don't know. It's hard to describe Amourette. I would love to hear anyone else describe Amourette. I've heard it described as a liquid musk. But then it's got the sweetness of the pear. I get a lot of compliments on this. It is a soft fragrance, but it smells amazing. So I get a lot of compliments on this when someone comes in to hug me. Oh my goodness, you smell so good. Doesn't have a huge sillage. It's not gonna like fill a room, but if somebody gets close enough to smell this on you, they are gonna compliment on you because it is just the most intoxicating, Wonderful, one of the most wonderful fragrances I've ever smelled. I have a review on this specifically on my channel. Definitely my favorite fragrance of 2020. This is probably my favorite fragrance that I've discovered in a couple of years. So that is Radiant Nectar by Clean Reserve. Amazing. You will definitely get compliments on that one. Okay, so down to my last two. This one, oh my goodness. This I get a ton of compliments on. This is Bottega Veneta. This is the original EDP. This is a leather fragrance. I do not typically like leather fragrances. I cannot stand Tom Ford, cannot stand anything with leather in it. But this is supposed to be the leather from their handbags. They're woven handbags, which I love. I want one, but it's like a soft leather, but it also has Lily of the Valley, which you can definitely smell kind of buried in this kind of rough kind of, this fragrance is very, this is a deeper fragrance. It is amazing. For anyone that likes the Gris Dior, this smells very similar to Gris Dior from Christian Dior, their Privé line. I've smelled that. I like this one better. And I already have this one. To me, they smell almost identical. And I don't know actually what's in that fragrance. I just know that when I've smelled it at the stores, it smells very similar to this. This, I think, one of the reasons I get so many compliments on this is number one, it smells amazing. It smells kind of like warm skin, which would make sense because it's the leather fragrance. Warm skin and sexy. Oh, I don't know. It stays on forever. This is my longest lasting fragrance that I own. It just persists and persists and persists. And it smells exactly the same 8 hours later than that it did when you sprayed it on, which is hard to find in a fragrance. So I think the longevity of this, the kind of deepness of this, and it does have good sillage. I mean, people can smell it, is why I get so many compliments on this. Also, it just smells amazing. It smells very enveloping. Like I said, it's not a skin fragrance because it's very strong, but it almost kind of smells like sexy skin or something. A lot of times leather fragrances will have a little bit of a skin because leather's kind of skinish. So yeah, this is Bottega Veneta, the original. And there's several flankers. I don't like any of the flankers. I only like this one, but this is one of my favorite fragrances now. Okay, so we're down to my most complimented fragrance. It's a really weird one. Nobody's probably gonna have heard of this, but this is this is like, you will get compliments like crazy. This is Une Amourette by Etat Libre d'Orange. I don't know how you say that. It's this crazy fragrance. It's supposed to smell like sex. It means little fling in French, or weekend fling. It's supposed to smell like, whatever, sex. But really what it smells like is it's this, again, sexy skin, sort of this, I think it has a lot of iris in it, but not powdery iris. This is not a powdery iris. This is a sexy iris. This is a skin-like iris. It acts like a pheromone. It is very strong. It stays on forever. So typically, obviously, strong fragrances and long-lasting fragrances are gonna get you more compliments because people can smell them, but this is nuclear. This thing stays on forever. I mean, I will smell it the next day after a shower, but it's really, it doesn't smell like anything specific. You can't pinpoint what it smells like. It just is this sexy pheromone type of fragrance. It's totally unisex. It smells like a man and a woman mixed together. And I think that was the idea, is that this was supposed to smell like the hotel room after a weekend fling. So you've got a woman, a man, her perfume, his cologne, whatever else, skin, sweat, I think is in there. I mean, this by no means smells like sweat, but it's this just very, and I think the reason people like this is it does kind of almost smell familiar. It's like this kind of, I don't know how to explain this fragrance. I've hardly seen any YouTube videos on this. I've seen one and she describes it really, really well. That it's just this kind of sexy, maybe you're wearing a leather jacket. I don't know. It's hard to describe this fragrance, but you can order a sample of this from their website. They're really good about samples. I think they're like $6. It's worth buying the sample because you have to try this out before you would buy it. It's a very, I don't know, not everybody's gonna like it. I absolutely love it. And every time I wear this, it's compliments like crazy. So I think people really like this. So this is my #1 compliment getter. And again, I think it's because it's this weird kind of skinish, familiar, sexy smell that people can't really identify, but it's like, that smells good. So those are my most complimented fragrances. And, you know, from the last maybe 6 months. Again, I did a video about a year ago. You can go back and check that one out. It's a little harder to do. I haven't seen as many most complimented fragrance videos, I think, because everybody's at home and it's hard to sort of figure out which fragrances you're getting compliments on because you're not your home all the time. So, but this is the best I could do. Pretty sure I'm accurate here on which ones are the most complimented. So I hope you guys enjoyed that video. Let me know what your most complimented fragrances are. Let me know if you have any of these, what you think of them. I love reading the comments. Yeah, let me know what your most complimented fragrance is. That's something I'm super interested in. Not that I wear fragrance for compliments, but usually if you're getting compliments, it means it smells good. And it smells good on you. So it's always a good kind of barometer of whether the fragrance works for you. So anyway, I will see you guys on my next video. Thank you.